Hey there gamers, Coverfire here, playing Division. Okay, so I'm going to provide you with simple builds and gameplay for this game so you can continue playing the game, and basically this is what keep you going through it.
What are you waiting
Warning,
for?
entering dark zone.
Okay,
Readings
so
indicate this
hello
area
to the
is safe.
Filipino gaming community, and by the way, quick tip for you guys: make sure to collect at least 3 or 4 classified gear before switching character in this game. 3 or 4 for you to still have that option for looting, so you can carry 120 items when you reach level 30, the max level. So for today, I'm gonna provide you a quick simple build and gameplay for DeadEye. Okay, so DeadEye classified gear. So what's in it for us? So let's take a look.
Don't waste my time.
So for DeadEye, if we have 2 pieces, we get 40% initial bullet stability. Then for 3 pieces, we get 20% marksman rifle critical hit damage. And then for 4 pieces, when we use the zoom action, marksman rifle will lose the headshot bonus, but you'll gain a 50% critical strike chance when out of cover and 100% critical strike chance when in cover. For having 5 pieces, you get additional 40% initial bullet stability again, and then 20% marksman rifle critical damage. And for having all the pieces equipped, you get
This is the shit you need.
improved DeadEye. Every time you're zoom and getting a headshot kill with marksman rifles will increase the critical damage by 20% every second to a maximum of 100%, and will increase the stability by 100% for 10 seconds until you're no longer zoom in using your weapon. So when you zoom in, basically you get 20% every second of critical damage when you're zoom in, so it increases up to 100%. So when you unzoom, that's the only time you don't get that
What are you waiting for?
bonus anymore. So let's take a look at the stats that I have. So for the chest piece, main stat is stamina. Then major attributes is EAD, health, ammo capacity. So as you can see, this is not yet optimized or not yet fully optimized. So you have the option to fully optimize your gear. So for EAD, you could replace this basically with crit damage. I would prefer crit damage over EAD, and keep ammo capacity in here. Then for the mod, I'm using firearms, skill haste. Then for the mask, main stat, firearms, major attributes, skill power, and blind depth resistance.
I got stuff that'll save your life.
For the mod, I'm using firearms, then again, skill haste, knee pads, main stat, stamina, then all resistance, and shock resistance, blind depth resistance, burn resistance, then mod, skill haste, stamina, and then uh, performance mod, first aid self heal. For the backpack, main stat, electronics, stability, ammo capacity. So keep ammo capacity here. Then again, you could change the major attributes to whatever you like, but preferably you'd go for crit damage, since you have that crit chance already. Crit damage would be nice. And for the mod, I have stamina, skill haste, and then I'm using performance mod, seeker mine, damage, and then explosion radius here. And then for the gloves, main stat, stamina, then attributes, EAD, crit chance, crit damage. And then for the holster, so you have all the stats there. Usually they're on the same level, 1300. Major attributes, skill haste. Then for the mod, I have seeker mine, damage. So I built up seeker mine here as my skill, and also first aid, since seeker mine for me, because you'll be basically in your playstyle, you'll be playing in the distance. So seeker mine would cover that distance for you, and would also help you to have that defensive option when you deploy your seeker mine. It would allow them to locate any nearby enemies for you. So seeker mine, cluster here. So separate into smaller mines and seek out targets for you. Then first aid, booster shot. So you have that damage increase. Damage increase is good to have on this gear. So, and also damage resistance. By the way, you could substitute seeker mine if you want to be like an Overwatch version of DeadEye. You could go for pulse, so you could locate enemies better. So better and farther away, depends to you. But if you're playing solo or in a squad, it would be more flexible, more defensive for you to have that seeker mine. So for signature skill, I'm using recovery link, so to have that survivability when you get hit and then you 0 the HP, this automatically pops in and heal you. So this is good. Tactical link, we're using sniper rifles, so tactical link to have that rate of fire is not really useful. And then survivor link is also useful for this build, since you'll be going in and out, and you'll be taking out targets farther away. You'll be constantly moving, so they won't be able to know your location. So survival link for damage resistance and mobility is good. So either recovery link or survival link for this one. Then for passives, I have one of my favorites, adrenaline, 7 seconds of immunity when using medkit. Then strike back, having that cooldown when reaching low health, 20% cooldown reduction is good. And then tech support, we don't need this. So not that. So what we'll be using here
This is the shit you need.
is evasive action, this one, or you could also get for as an alternative tactical advance. So it's up to you. Evasive action, completing cover to cover movement will or during cover to cover movement you'll get that damage resistance, incoming damage resistance by 30%, or completing cover to cover movement increases your weapon damage by 2% per meter covered for 5 seconds to a maximum of 30%. So it's up to you which skill you'll be using. So this one, or evasive action, or tactical advance. Then I use chain reaction in here because we're using Seeker Mine.
I got
So
stuff
damage
that'll save your life.
multiple hostiles with an explosion, apply 20% more damage from the blast. So this is very useful for Seeker Mines. You'll have that explosion damage every once in a while using the Seeker Mine skill. So for the weapons, this is really suggested for you to have the exotic devil. So for the talent cool-headed, performing headshot reduces all skill cooldown by 5%. And then harmful, each hit has a 15% chance to apply a bleed status effect to the target. And then
Don't waste my time.
the talent fire increases stability by 30% for 15 seconds, and body shot increase headshot damage by 30% for 15 seconds using this weapon. So if you hit the head, you get 30% increase for stability, and then if you hit body mass, you get 30% increase for headshot. So for the secondary, I'm using the set item for this one, which is the heal. So it's the same type of weapon, marksman. Talent, I have adept 7.5 increase, crit chance for 15 seconds after using a
What are you
skill.
waiting
So
for?
the trigger would be first aid or seeker mine. Then we have vicious, crit chance is increased by 10% for having more than 2 segments of health. Then talent fury, hitting weak points increases weapon damage by 15% for 15 seconds. And if you hit skill proxies or deployed skill, it increases your crit damage for 30% per 15 seconds. So what I like for this two weapons is the set bonus, the Devil's Heal. So both weapons will gain that talent, Fire and Fury, and the buff duration is increased by 15
This
seconds.
is the shit you need.
So if you switch weapons or swap, basically you won't lose that bonus, and the weapon swap speed is increased as well. So which is definitely good to have for this classified gear. And then for my sidearm, I'm just using Damascus. Anything goes here. You could choose any sidearm, or if you want to keep on a low profile, having a low gear score, you could use probably a high end, or even a specialized if you like. So
Hey,
just for you to have
you
a
going
lower
without
gear
this?
score.
You're dead.
So for me, I'm just using Damascus Talent Fierce. Critical hit chance is increased by 5% when using this weapon. So quick draw. During quick draw, the weapon damage is increased by 20% for 2 seconds after just using or swapping with this weapon for 2 seconds. So you get that 20% increased damage. So that's it for the gear and the weapons. And then for my stat, I have firearms 4800, and then stamina 6800 for you to have that survivability, and electronics at 3900 gear. So there's no specific preference
Stupid.
here
Over
since
here.
it doesn't improve anything at all for having any set of specific statistics here. But others would go purely on firearms. They would go around 5,000 or even 6,000 for firearms and keeping stamina at 6,000, 5,000 to have that toughness. Then electronics just on a low profile like 2,000. So it's up to you, but for me this is flexible. Uh, so I have decent amount of damage. I get the buff for the damage using these two weapons, and also the using the zoom in buff of the DeadEye.
Don't waste my
So
time.
that's already flexible for me. That works for my playstyle already. So let's show you a quick gameplay for DeadEye.
Warning, now leaving the safe area.
So take a look at the damage that we have. Now the difference will be is when we zoom in. So you see that buff on the damage.
Don't take no disrespect. You ain't got a prayer. Let's turn right on the light. Don't let him.
So the damage is really high when you zoom in.
You in pieces. Hey, God. Ain't got backup. Get way out of your holy crap.
So using Seeker Mine is also good for having enemies see their cover. So you see the damage difference when we're zooming and we're not.
No chance.
So versus when we're zooming.
Way out of your league.
So it's basically effective and good for taking out targets when we're zooming.
Didn't see that coming. Here we go.
So there we have it. So look at the damage. Okay, so that's DeadEye for you. Make use of the build, and thanks again, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Supply drop claimed.